I want you to imagine that you're really pushing your knee as far back as you can, so you get a bit of a stretch through this part of the front leg and hip area. Now, you're going to think about bringing your heel forward. Keep your hip up, your knee up, but bring your heel forward. We're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. If you do want to hold on for balance, do so. It should be less of a balance drill and more of just a, whoa, everything is tight. All right, so lifting, same leg up again, same leg open, keeping the knee really nice and high, and then now pushing that heel forward. Forward, 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 forward for 5, 4, hey Ashley, 3, 2, 1, place it back down. We're gonna go the opposite direction with the heel this time. So knee goes up, knee goes open, and now heel's gonna go backwards. Backwards, 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 as far as you can go backwards while keeping the knee in one position. 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Last one on that side. Up, open, and now heel goes backwards. Backwards, 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 working that more internal rotation now. 3, 2, 1. Oh, now my hip feels like it wants to cramp. All right, we're gonna switch to the left side. So left knee up, left knee open, and then left heel comes forward as far as you can without actually moving the rest of the leg. Holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, turn it off. And again, like always, trying to push this joint to the end range that it has. So strength training for the end range of that hip range of motion. Open and heels forward, heels forward, heels forward. So we've got the knee staying back and we've got the heel coming forward. Opposite directions and down. We'll switch the heel direction on the next one where we're going to make the heel go backwards instead. Up, open, and then now heel is going to go as far back as we can, back as we can, back as we can. Knee is staying high, knee is staying forward. 3, 2, 1, turn it down. And last one, up, open, and we're going to do that internal rotation of the hip where the heel is trying to go behind the back of the body, keeping the knee out to the side of us. 3, 2, 1, and down. We're going to sit on the floor, hands behind our back, heels in front and out wide, performing our hip opener sequence side to side. Each time we bring our knees down towards the floor or our legs down, we think about opening the hip at the top. We can do that by squeezing the butt cheek, squeezing the butt cheek. 2 more repetitions here. And on the next round, we're just going to spin over and lay on our backs. We're going to start here by performing a star bridge. So we're going to have our legs a little bit wider than shoulder width, our hands a little bit wider onto the floor, push our lower back into the ground, push the back of our heels into the ground, and we're going to lift our butt gently off the floor. It doesn't need to be high. It doesn't even need to leave the ground fully. Just a matter of where you feel comfortable. And this is going to allow us to light up the back side of the body, the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes. We're going to hold this position for 10 seconds. Also thinking about driving the arms and the upper back into the floor so you're getting tension through the upper back as well. Another 3, 2, 1, and rest, turn it off, bring it down. We're going to do 3 of those for 10 seconds. All right, initiate again by pushing the lower back into the floor to make sure that we're not getting any extra motion through the back, and then elevate your butt. Again, pressing through the upper back, pressing through the heels. How straight or bent your knees are is dependent on what feels okay on the back side of your body. The more extended we are, meaning the straighter our knees, the more challenging it's going to be. 3, 2, 1, back down. Got 1 more coming up. And here we go. Back up for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you're going to walk your feet back so that your feet are now flat on the floor and they're a little bit closer to your bum. You're going to push your lower back into the ground and you're going to elevate the hips. With the upper body, we're going to imagine that we've got these long chains from the ceiling that we have pulled, and we're now going to get into that bent over row isometric position as well. So we've got everything on the back side of the body turned on, and we're going to squeeze our butt cheeks as hard as we can for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Make sure the knees stay away from each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it off. Hips back up, elbows and upper back pressed into the ground. I want you to imagine that you're dragging your heels towards your head and also squeezing your butt cheeks for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it off. We got one more coming up. And back up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. We're going to transition back to a standing position. We're going to slowly warm up our squat pattern. So starting in our nice athletic stance, slight bend in the knee and a bit of a break in the hip. Arms also in a position where you can help to generate force and tension, pushing that floor apart like you're trying to create that earthquake, screwing your heels into the ground, creating as much max tension as you can here for 10 seconds as we start to warm up and pattern the squat position. 3, 2, 1, turn it off. We're going to go a little deeper. And same protocol, press everything out, squeeze the fists. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, turn it off. And one more time down to about 90 degrees. And turn it on. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Okay, we're going to descend back into the deep squat in a moment, and we're going to pattern the same type of movement from the bottom going up, which means that we're not going to actually stand up in between them. So you're going to have constant tension on the lower part of the body for a little while. So descend, 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 descend. We're going to leave 5 seconds here. Press out, squeeze your fists for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up a couple inches. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up a tiny bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up a tiny bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And last one. Come up a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. We're now going to descend into 10 body weight squats, just focusing more on moving through the hips and getting a little bit more range of motion throughout the entire 10 reps. So here we go. Descend, no rush here. Stand back up. 2, 3. As always, pushing your bum back like you're sitting on a chair or you're sitting on a toilet. Keeping the knees pressed out from each other. Always trying to push the floor apart to create lots of tension. So we make this movement harder than it needs to be. Last 3. And last one. Good. Okay, so our protocol today, we've got 3 exercises. Technically, it's only 2. For our first tricep, we've got a slow squat, which I'm going to count you through, a fast squat, and then a single leg hip bridge. Very similar to what we were doing during the warm-up. So if you've got any weights or load at home that you're choosing to use for your squat, grab that. Our first squat, our slow squat, is going to be 6 seconds on the way down. We're going to do 6 reps. And then immediately following that, we're going to go into 15 reps with the same weight that you are or are not using. So here we go. Load up, descending for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand a bit quicker here. Good. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand. Now you're going to perform 15 that are a regular pace. Just up and down for 15. Go ahead. Keep track of your own reps here for a total of 1, 5, 15. Hopefully you can't hear the rain too much in the background here. Always trying to press the feet apart. Again, creating as much tension as you can. And as soon as you're done, you are 15. You're going to turn onto your back on the floor. And we are going to perform 15 single leg glute bridges. So you're going to anchor one leg into the ground, have the other one off the floor, push the lower back in, have the elbows drive into the floor just like you did in the warm-up. Bring the hip up, pause for a moment, back down, completing all 15 on one leg before 15 on the other. Go ahead. If you find that going completely single leg is a little bit much, you can keep the other foot down as a kickstand to help. So you're still performing 15 per side, but you're getting a little bit of assistance from the other leg to ensure that you can get a full range of motion. So don't rush these. Naruba, try to spend more time in the top than the bottom. So hang up there and just tap your button right back up. Excellent. So we're minimizing how much time no tension is on the muscle. So you're driving through the heel. And think about really squeezing your butt cheek when you get to the top. That's it. And using those arms and elbows and upper body to act as if you are pulling into the floor, like you're trying to break the ground. So you're also getting some activation through that upper back. Very good. Naruba, I'm going to get you to start doing your slow ones, but you're still going to finish at the same time that we finish. All right, and then we'll transition back to our feet, getting ready to go back to our slow variation of those squats. Load up. And here we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up, 3, press out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up. Again, trying to make as much tension as you can on these. So you're aggressively pressing the floor apart, making it harder than it needs to be. Up, one more. Making it hard. That's how we can make lightweight and body weight feel very challenging. Up, and now 15 body weight. Here we go. Or not body weight, sorry, just fast. 1, 2, keep pressing away. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm warm. 11, 12, 13, 14. Last one, and stay down there. Tricked you for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop back up. All right. Back to the floor for our single leg glute bridge. Pushing the lower back into the floor, pushing the elbows and the upper back into the floor, extending that hip, holding it at the top for a moment, tapping your bum on the ground and back up again. 15 per side. Slow and controlled. Really trying to feel that glute or your butt in the top range of motion. Allowing the rest of the body, the arms, the back of the shoulders to help out, to give you even more output. 15 per side. Again, as I mentioned before, if you find it's hard to get to that extended hip hinge position, feel free to use the other leg to help as a kickstand. All right, if you are done, you're gonna start your slow squats, but you're still gonna end at the same number of reps as the rest of us do. So you may get an extra 1 or 2 in there. Nice, Karina, very good. All right, Andrea. Okay, here we go, slow ones for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press that floor out. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And last slow one. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 15 fast. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Press those heels away. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay down here, and we're gonna do 10 little mini reps at the bottom here. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower, Naruba. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can stand up. Oh, yeah. And then transitioning back to the floor for our last set here of the single leg glute bridge. 15 reps, really extending through your butt, using the elbows to help, squishing your bum at the top. Keeping the abs nice and tight, ensuring that we're not overarching through the lower back. If you start to feel the back is tighter, go back to the floor, push your back into the ground before lifting up, just as a reset to get your body a bit more used to using your butt instead of your back. After you've done these, feel free to grab a sip, and then you'll also need an item to use for a bent over row. So that can be 2 items, meaning use one in each hand. They don't even have to be the same weight. You could just switch half the reps. Or you could have one implement that you just hold with both hands. In the video on YouTube, I used a watermelon and then we ate it afterwards. So grab a quick sip and get your weights ready. So the next protocol is going to be a bent over row. So you're gonna grab whatever weight it is that you've got accessible to you, whether it's actually a weight or not. You're gonna get into your bent over row position, and we are going to accumulate 50 reps. So there's no right or wrong way to break them up. If you need to break them up into example for sets of 10. Now, if your load is a bit lighter, what I want to challenge you to do is at the top, squeeze everything as tightly as you can, really hard for a second every time you get up there. So it means it'll take you a little bit longer, but that's okay because you're going to get a better benefit out of it. All right. So 50 reps. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And on your own count, because you may need to break them up into smaller sets. 50. And again, more important than speed is that moment at the top. So in Aruba, try to have that moment at the top where you're motionless. Yeah, and then back down and up, squeeze, be motionless, back down. So you get a little bit more constant tension on the back of the body, and you're turning a lightweight now into something that feels a little bit heavier. So if you got to break that up into multiple sets, that's awesome. That's a win. That means we've got a heavy enough load that's totally going to get you to have to change your body. Nice, Ashley. Nice, Andrea. Karina, hinge over a little bit more and see if you can get the weight or the load that you have a little bit closer to the midline here instead of the chest. So a little bit lower down. Yes, good. And just really focus on squeezing the heck out of those shoulder blades when you get to the top. Have a moment at that top where you're like, whoa, tension. The same thing that you would do if you were in front of a computer screen for a long time and you get antsy and you like stretch and you bring your shoulders back and you squeeze them. Same concept here. So no need to rush through these. The number is 50, so that if you're lifting something that's a little bit lighter, hopefully by the end of that 50 with a lot of kind of mind muscle connection, we're still getting that fatigue effect. So bringing a little bit more awareness into what you're doing. And as always, pressing the feet apart like you're doing a deadlift, so that even though it's the arms and the back working, your abs are turned on, your butt is on, your legs are on, and you're now exponentially increasing the benefits that you're getting from it.
Growing the blender. That's the best.
Karina, that's good. Much better back position there. That's it, Andrea. Good, Naruba. That's it. So always pulling through those shoulder blades, adding the shoulder blades to the back of the body, back down. Adding the shoulder blades to the back of the body, back down. If you're starting to feel your legs and your glutes and your core get a little bit fatigued here, that's awesome. That definitely means that you're bringing that tenacity that we're talking about. One more thing we want to be aware of with that row is that as we bring the elbows up, we're also bringing the shoulders up. If we find that the elbows are coming up at the expense of the shoulder and the shoulders rounding and going into this, what I like to call very scientific shoulder dump, then a little bit less of the benefit we're trying to get. So we want to have that shoulder blade back and down, Yes, leading through the elbow, but ensuring that we're pulling that entire shoulder back as one unit. Done? 50 done, yes? Woo, awesome. That was good timing, everybody. It was like all together. All right, so our next three movements, again, the first two are going to be very similar, is going to be a hip thrust. Now, if you've got furniture accessible to you, you can do it off of a couch or something. If not, you can do it off of the floor. So for example, if you're doing it off of the couch or a piece of furniture, you're going to have your shoulder blades elevated on that piece of furniture. The hips go down, the hips come up. The hips go down, the hips come up. If you don't have an elevation, you're going to go into that hip bridge position. Okay, very similar in terms of the benefit. We're going to be pausing at the top for 6 seconds. Now, this isn't just any regular pause. This is that pause that we did during the warm-up, where you thought about pulling the heels to your head and squeezing your butt cheeks as hard as you can. So it's 6 seconds of max effort squeeze, followed by 15 reps without that long pause and squeeze, okay? So let's get together. I'm going to show from the floor here, but again, if you've got an elevated surface, feel free to use that. Push that lower back into the floor, elevate the hips, and now think about pulling the heels to your head and squeezing the heck out of your butt. And you'll notice that the alignment of your hip slightly changes there as well. That's awesome. 3, 2, 1, turn it off and back up for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, turn it off and back on. And when we turn it off, it should be needed. We should have to be like, man, I got to stop squeezing it. This is hard. And again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. 2 more here. Back down. And last one, squeezing, 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 squeezing for 3, 2, 1. And now 15 reps. Back at the top, ensuring that you're squeezing very hard, but you're not resting for longer than a fraction of a second here. Keeping the knees pressed away from each other and allowing the butt cheeks and the glutes to be the determining factor of how high those hips get, not the lower back. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oi. My butt is awake. All right. You're transitioning after this into a split squat. So again, you're going to go back to the load that you potentially had for your squat. And we're going to take a step back with one of our legs. Our back leg is going to be on our tippy toe. We're going to descend down into a split squat position, drive the heel in to stand up, performing 15 reps on one leg before switching and performing 15 reps on the other side. Again, no need to rush these. Take your time. Really dig that front heel into the floor so that you're able to get on a bit more of that glute, which is predominantly what we used during that first exercise. So it should be lit up. Nice, Karina. Good, Ashley. Good, said Andrea. So like always, we try and bring our back knee to travel down towards the floor as far as we can without any discomfort, and then we stand back up. No need for speed here, all about feeling that muscle, leaning into the front leg, driving the heel in, feeling like you're predominantly using the front leg without help of that back leg. The back leg's just there for some stability and support. To make this a little bit more challenging, spend less time resting at the top and immediately go back into a rep that's very controlled to maximize what you're feeling. 15 on one leg, take a moment if you need it, and then 15 on the other side. If you've done your 15, what you're going to be doing is going onto the floor in that hip bridge position, and you're going to hang out in hip bridge until the rest of us are ready to count those reps. So a little bit extra exposure to the glutes and the hams. Niruba, you got a pretty good setup there, right? I love everybody's home gym. It's awesome. All right, we'll get started with these reps in about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Drive the hips up, squeezing maximally for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down and up. And again, pull those heels in. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Keep the knees out. Try to make this harder down than it needs to be. That's how we can make body weight feel really challenging. Down and up. 3, 2, 1. Down and up. This is number 4. Down and up. Down and up. Last one. 3, 2, 1. And here we go. 15 fast reps. Still squeezing the heck out of your butt when you get to the top. That never changes. We're still adding in that intent at the extended hip position. Hopefully you're feeling that a lot in the glutes and the hamstrings. Mine are ridiculously on fire. I got 5 left here. 15 is a total number. Whew. And then as soon as you're finished those, transitioning back into that split squat, bringing all of that effort and focus onto the front leg, predominantly that glute. If you do happen to have knee issues, try to be a little bit more in a hinge or a deadlift position versus an upright position, and that will put a lot of the stress and the weight onto your butt and take it off of the knee joint. So again, take your time with these, no rush. 15 per side. 15 is a big number on purpose, especially transitioning from the hip dominant movement to this, to really try to sink into the backside of our bodies or our posterior chain, which definitely tends to be the lagging area of our body compared to the front in both strength and stability. Niruba, try to get that knee out a little bit. Yes. As you descend, push it out. Yeah, good. And that's going to help you to feel a little bit more in your butt as well. Make that conscious effort to keep that knee out, out, out. Good. And again, take your time here. Go through that range of motion that feels okay with your body. Everyone's body is slightly different. Everyone's physiology is a little bit different. So find what feels good for you. Sit, Karina. Slow and controlled. Good. And same with that knee, Niruba. Push that knee out. Yeah, especially as you're bending it. Push it out. Very good. And you should notice a difference over time where you might start to feel a little bit more on the outside of your butt cheek as you start to push that leg out to the side. All right. If you are done, Ashley, I'm assuming you're done. You're going to assume hip bridge and hang out there until we start counting our reps. Yay, extra stuff. All right, we're gonna get these started in 3, 2, 1. Elevate the hips and squeezing. And again, you know the drill, making it harder than it needs to, bringing in all of that intent and tenacity back down and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 done. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one coming up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And our 15 fast reps, still bringing in a lot of intent at the top, squeezing harder like you're trying to hold in a fart, for a total of 15. And as soon as you're finished, trying to transition pretty quickly into those split squats to have a bit of that carryover fatigue from these movements. Leaning into that front leg, ensuring that the hip and the knee and the ankle all stay in the same direction. So very common that we start to lean on the inside of the foot, like our big toe takes more weight than our baby toe, and then our knee also starts to cave in. So think about spreading the weight on your foot, on the heel, the big toe, and the baby toe. Don't forget about the baby toe. And that will help you to keep your knee pushed out a little bit to the side and not having it collapse towards the midline of the body. Just like when we're squatting, and I talk about spreading the floor, you kind of spread the floor here too. It's a little bit of a different phenomenon because you don't have that equal balanced leg next to you, but still think about screwing your front heel into the floor to get a little bit more stability and rigidity and alignment that is more conducive of keeping the hip, the ankle, and the knee in one area that's better for it. I saw a little shake from Karina's leg there, so I'm assuming that means she's feeling it. That's a good thing. Very nice. Driving that heel, big toe, baby toe of the front foot into the ground. Call that a tripod. And again, if you're done your split squats, you're gonna hang out in that extended bridge position for some extra little love to the back of the legs and the back of the body. All right. Starting our hip bridges in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Moving back to the top, holding that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. When you get to 5, stay up top. 4, 5. So stay up here, and all you're gonna do now is a little bit of a pulse. So it's like you squeeze your butt, then you let it go. Squeeze your butt, let it go. We're gonna do 20 pulses. 2, 0. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and rest. Oh. And then moving into our final set of our split squat. Using that fatigue that we created from those hip thrusts and hip bridges to carry us over into that split squat. And again, if you're able to move up and down feeling your butt because you just did some stuff that stimulated it, chase that feeling. That's a really good learning experience for the brain to get there. Again, no rush with these. No rush, take your time. Take your time, descend, 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 up, descend, 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 up, keeping that tension through the legs, keeping that tension into the big, strong, powerful part of the body, that glute, that hamstring, that quad, keeping it off the knee joint. Niruba, done? Niruba, are you finished?
My computer died, so I missed.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, my laptop. Okay, wait.
Oh, did you disconnect? Okay, I gotcha. All right. That's it. Take your time on these. Again, not about the speed here, definitely about trying to connect that muscle and that mind together and feeling what you're doing in that lower part of the body. All right, so if you're done, grab some beverage, and our final movement today is going to be body saw. So equipment needed, a slippery surface, and something to slide on. So for example, if your floor is already slippery, socks on your floor might work. If not, a towel on tile or a towel on wood or laminate also works quite well. And you're going to get into your hard plank position. And from here, you're going to push and pull the body backwards and forwards in one unit. So nothing actually moves in my lower body, just my shoulders and my elbows. 5, 0, 50. My assumption is that we will not get through 50 at once, and that was my hope. So break this up into smaller chunks, 10, 5, 15, 20, whatever it is, to accumulate 50 reps, 5, 0 good quality repetitions. And how far you push and pull the body forward and backwards is just going to be dependent on how you feel. If you start to feel a lot of tension in the lower back, that might be a little bit too far. So the forward and backwards range may be very small or it may be very big. Neither is right nor wrong, just about what feels good for your body. All right, and go ahead. Let's start making a dent in that 5, 0, 50 repetitions. So again, using the body as a very strong piece of one unit. So imagine plywood, just like strong, rigid, doesn't bend at all. The moment we start to feel some shaking or wavering in the midsection, take a break. Doesn't have to be a long break, but take a break. So you're starting to get to that failure point, and we don't necessarily want to get there every single time. We want to have good quality reps throughout that 50. So again, we initiate this movement by getting into hard plank. So once you're in that plank position, always think about tucking your pelvis in. If you had a cup of water on your butt, you'd want that cup of water to fall towards your heels, not towards your head. Okay, so tuck that pelvis in, and then you're going to push your body as far away as you can, and then drag it back. Push your body as far away as you can, drag it back. Again, no matter how far you go is dependent on what feels okay for you. You might have a very wide and long stretch, or you might have a very short one. That's okay. To keep this out of the lower back, tuck that pelvis in to ensure that we're not hanging from the spine, that we're actually engaging the things that we should engage. Naruba looks solid. Karina, you could probably put your hips up a tiny bit higher. Yeah, good. And Ashley and Angie, I can't really see you guys. I can see like a very small portion of Ashley. Good, rest in between. Again, accumulating that 50, that 5-0. Big number on purpose. And do these slowly. I always find that taking my time with this movement especially allows me to feel the movement to a greater degree versus just rushing through it. Karina, keep those hips up a little higher, especially as your body goes farther away from your shoulders. Fight to keep it up. Good. That's it. So definitely taking this plank to the next level, adding in some movement now to the rest of the body. And so we always talk about the core being that force transducer. We want the core to be stable and strong so that the rest of our body can do things, do fun things. And those fun things allow us to burn more calories, build more muscle, drop more fat, etc. So this is a good example here of we're moving through different positions in space, but we're still trying to connect to our body and say, hey, adapt to this weird environment. At some points it's easier, at some points it's harder, but I need you to stay strong throughout the entire thing. And that's what lifting weights is like. At some parts of the movement, it's harder. At some parts of the movement, it's easier. But regardless of where the weight is in space, we're always relying on our core or our midsection to ensure that the rest of our body is stable and safe. How are we making out? Roughly, how many are we at? '20s, '30s, '40s, 40? Nice. 50? Naruba, do a bonus 10. Ashley, are you done as well? Bonus 10. Karina, I love the little toe tap that you do. You probably don't even notice that you do it. All right, I think we're all close to wrapping up there. So take a moment and then we'll go through a stretch together. No rush, take your time. Excellent work, everybody. Take our right knee and we're just gonna hug it in front of our torso. And thinking about squeezing your butt cheek of the foot that's still on the ground and pushing your hip forward. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch through the hip area. And then we'll switch to the other side. Again, now squeezing the opposite butt cheek and extending that hip. You can slightly lean back. And now we'll hold the opposite direction. So instead of holding in front of the body, we'll go behind. And again, hold where you feel comfortable, whether it be their pant leg, your ankle, your heel, your shoe, your sock, the toe, wherever feels comfortable for you. If you can reach back, even with both arms, you get a bit of a stretch through the chest and the upper body as well, keeping your chest tall. Switch sides. Big deep inhale and exhale. And back down. If you've got a wall to hold on to, this might help for balance. You're gonna take your right leg and you're gonna cross the right ankle over the top of the thigh. And then you are going to bend the left leg with the hip and the knee so that you can feel a stretch through the right butt cheek. If you got something to hold on to for balance, that might help. If your hands are free, you can use the right hand to press into the top of the right knee, and that often helps to deepen that stretch. So you can deepen the stretch by getting lower, getting deeper, or by pushing down a little bit on that right knee as well. And then we shall switch sides. Left ankle over the top of the right thigh, hinging my butt, bending my right knee, using my left hand to press into the left knee. I can use my right hand for some stability. Again, not meant to be a stability drill here, so feel free to hang on. And then back to both legs on the ground. Hanging the head and the arms towards the floor. Not worrying here about neutral spine, just letting the body go. Big inhale, big exhale, hang. Take your hands, grab behind the back of the legs, and you'll gently just pull yourself a little deeper and turn it off. And gently just pull a little bit deeper and turn it off. Walk your hands all the way out, bending the left knee, straightening the right knee, pressing into the right foot so that we get a bit of a stretch on the back of the ankle, the calf, the back of the leg, potentially even the outside of the glute there, and switch to the other side. Also leaning your hip into the left now, switch to the right, leaning your hip into the right, leaning your hip into the left. Walking your hands back towards your feet. So that we're able to keep our heels in contact with the ground. Try to keep your heels in contact with the ground and walk out as far as you can without them coming up. As far as you can without the heels coming up. Just hang out there at that end point. You can focus on pushing in a tiny bit more to one side and then the other side. And then walk the hands back again, keeping the heels in contact with the floor. You can slowly come back up to standing when you feel ready. Thank you everybody for joining us on Easter Monday. Happy holiday to everybody and your families. Hope you guys enjoy the day. You know, given the circumstances, we make the best of it. And we're back in tomorrow at 5 p.m. live. And tomorrow is called the Dirty 30. So it's also day 30 of our quarantine chronicles. So we'll have a little play on that as well. Miss you guys lots and wishing you a great day. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully all tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.